Welcome, everyone, to the L7C podcast anime edition. Today, we are just going to be talking about what we are expecting, wanting to see in maybe the biggest anime release period the past couple of years. If you've been living under the anime rock, there's a lot of good stuff coming out starting in a couple of weeks in October. That's going to be going all the way until the early of next year. So we're just going to talk about what we're excited to see. And yeah, that's really it. So we got the NDP crew. We got Byron, Cedric, and Andrea with us here today. How are you all doing?
I'm doing good, no complaints.
Doing well. Got a little lucky these past couple days, so can't complain too much.
I'm all right.
So, like we said, we're going to be talking about some anime. And Cedric, I actually want to ask you this first because out of all of us here, you've watched more anime and you know it better than any of us, really. Have you seen like this type of like anime season be promoted, advertised like the way this fall 2022 and some of the stuff in January 23 is?
Not really. I mean, January 23 includes the winter season. Like, the winter season is going to be honestly a good follow up. Normally, and I don't know if it's because of the titles that are dropping in October, they're just like conveniently all dropping in October. I mean, this past one, like this summer, was pretty big, but then they had a lot of delays and some pushbacks. But this is arguably, if everything comes out on time and nothing gets pushed back, this will be a really big release for animes.
Yeah, because we'll just go right into it, toss it to Byron, who used to watch the least amount of anime out of everyone here, but you've really picked up the past couple of years a lot. What are you looking forward to this like fall 2022 anime season? And then you can throw in your winter stuff as well.
I really had to think about this because, like you said, I've watched the least amount of anime. So I guess the top three that I'm looking forward to, mix of fall and winter, are number one, Demon Slayer season 3, whenever that comes out. Next would probably be Jujutsu Kaisen, and then third would be Spy Family. And then the new anime that I'm looking forward to is Chainsaw Man.
That's the big one getting a lot of love. How about you, Andrea?
Well, I didn't really think about like listing them out by what I'm most excited for, but I mean, I'm excited for all of the ones that Byron mentioned. I am like on the fence whether or not I'm going to enjoy Chainsaw Man because the first time I watched AOT was not a fan. I couldn't get into it. So I'm a little worried that Chainsaw Man's like the gore involved in it will like turn me off. But we'll see. I'm excited to see what it's about. Kind of a little out of left field for me. I haven't really watched that many sports animes, but I'm kind of excited for Blue Lock to come out. I don't know. I've found certain sports animes to really help me understand the game more, and soccer is one of the sports that I really don't understand all that well. So I wonder if it's going to be written in such a way that people that have never played or aren't big fans of the sport are better able to understand it. So yeah, I'm really excited for that as well. But of course, I'm excited for Demon Slayer, My Hero, and Jujutsu Kaisen. So excited. I do want to watch and start Spy Family since I'll be able to binge both seasons.
Yeah, so because I want to make sure Cedric's last since he's the expert in all this. So number one for me is Spy Family because for people listening, anytime Cedric thinks that I would be into an anime, he's like, hey, you should watch this. And I'm like, I mean, Cedric knows my taste. Cedric was the one who got me onto My Hero Academia when it first started, got me into Koroko, got me into Spy Family, got me into the only anime I've been watching like this season, Locust Recoil. Like, so anytime Cedric sees an anime that I may have interest in, he always hooks me up. So I appreciate that. But Spy Family, because I don't think everyone thought how big it was going to be. because it really like took the time it came out by storm, and it's something that I can watch with my wife, who's really into the show as well. And then just for this October thing, I also picked Blue Lock because I do want to watch the soccer anime and see how that is. And then number tied for 3 for just this 2022 part was My Hero Academia. Actually, scratch that. My Hero and Chainsaw were tied for 3, but then a whole other above all of this stuff was Bleach. Since Bleach is coming back. Yeah, so Bleach is like tier 0, and then everything else is then Spy Family is like 1, then all that stuff, because obviously one of the big 3, Kurosaki Ichigo, coming back, like that crew, seeing the trailers when no one knew when this was coming back. I think that one is going to the exact date when it's going to set the world ablaze. But shout out to Rengoku. Cedric, what are you? I had to think about that for a split second. I'm like, where did I hear that line before? Like,
I was about to say, I was like, what are you? It took me a second after you said Rengoku. Funny. I was like, oh, you did say set something ablaze. I was like, okay, all right.
Oh, wow.
Cute. All right.
But Cedric, man, what are you looking forward to in this like 2022 fall season?
Fall season for me is the most thing I'm looking forward to is Bleach. Like for the manga lovers out there, you know what's about to happen. So I know this is going to be hit or miss. Honestly, it's been so long since they have adapted anything from the manga. I mean, the manga's done, but from the people I've heard, it was one of the ones, as people know, like I only read manga if it's something that's truly enticing. And this was one that got me close. So I'm really curious to see what the animation is. And I actually have always wanted to see more of the Quincy's and their abilities and their powers. And so I'm really excited to see how this goes. Chainsaw Man, I'm super excited for. I'm actually really nervous about it, though, because this is an anime that was set to release in the summer, but got pushed back. And so I'm hoping that the pushback was to do it right, because I'd rather something be done to its fullest potential, especially if it's getting its first shot at animation, than for us to rush it just because of popularity. I mean, we've seen that happen too many times. I mean, one of my favorite animes, I like Tokyo Ghoul, but a lot of the manga readers were very upset with how it was adapted into animation. And I'd rather it, I don't know, I like the fan source to stay the fan source. A low-key one that I've never watched it, but I know is extremely popular, Mob Psycho. That's coming back for season 3.
Yep.
I heard nothing but great expectations and great things about the series. And Golden Kamui, honestly, I remember when that first dropped, it has a 4th season. That thing's been honestly tearing shit up with its fan base. I mean, My Hero, that's going to be something that people will watch, something to look forward to. Like Andrea, I am interested in Blue Lock. Mm-hmm. The reason for me is, like Martin said, he watched Kuroko.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing some of at least the stills and small graphics, I'm getting Kuroko vibes for soccer, which would be interesting.
Yeah,
because it has it's been a minute since we've had a truly amazing sports anime like that. I mean, Haikyuu kind of carried it, but it wasn't no super powers almost happening in the field of play. But those are the series. I know there's a couple movies that's going to be coming out, so those will be good. If you've never seen That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, that one's getting a movie, and I've seen the animation for that. I've seen the previews. That movie is going to be great. And then, of course, Sword Art Online is coming back with another movie. And oddly enough, as much as I love the series, and it gets cheesy at times as it keeps going. Their graphics, their animation is honestly top tier. There's only maybe 1 or 2 other anime series out there that I can say their animation is better or on par with Sword Art.
And then just staying on that, because we get the One Piece movie in America this fall.
Yep,
Red. So hopefully that's another anime movie that does relatively well anime wise in the box office, because when the anime movies eat, other studios make anime movies, and then the fans are treated well as long as everybody eats. Going into like Cedric, what do you think would be sleeper animes of this season? Like, we highlighted some big ones, but like, what do you think would be like a sleeper one that people may not be paying attention to?
It's hard to really say because a lot of times with anime, normally your sleepers are ones that no one is watching and no one knows. But I would say it's probably going to be, it has to be, it'll be end up being a romance, because those are always like low-key the best sleepers, because unless more people read shonen, more people read like webtoons, but not as many people read light novels. And so when those get adapted into anime, there's a lot of ground for potential, because I mean, as you're reading something, how things are portrayed, how it's going to be animated takes a lot of creativity. And so I would say whatever one of the romance, whatever's coming out, I would imagine will probably be a good sleeper. I don't think it'll be any of the ones we named, just because there's high expectations. I guess one that I've watched, but I haven't finished its second season, is Iruma. It's like the demon school dude who's like a kid whose parents essentially sold him to a demon to make money, and then he has a compulsive issue where he can't tell people no. And so like he's like trying to hide at this demon school. It's more of a comedy type of thing, so I'm surprised it got a third season. Like I said, I've heard it supposedly blew up really well in the second season, but I haven't finished it, so I can't say it's a sleeper, honestly. But if I had to put money on it, I'd say one of the romance animes, and I don't follow them enough to honestly know which one to look out for.
What about that Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out season 2? I know that girl. She has like she has like that little tooth on her side. If I sent you guys a picture, you know who I was talking
I know
about.
exactly, you're talking about the short gray hair.
Yup.
Uzaki-chan, yeah, well.
But on a serious thing for a sleeper thing, because this is one I'm excited for, because I've been a fan of this series since I was little. The new Gundam series coming out. Like, I feel like that one's not getting as much popularity or rub, and that comes out October 2nd.
The thing with Gundam, and honestly, and take what you will from it, right? Sunrise does mech animes like no one else does mecha animes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you don't know what Sunrise is, if you ever see that little spinny green thing, that little ball with the ears, and you see it spinning, that's Sunrise. And if you notice any other studio work, they do a lot of mecha animes. But I think like we haven't really seen like a true Mobile Suit Gundam. I mean, I know they made Hathaway, the movie that was on Netflix. And honestly, I was super hype about that, but I thought there was going to be another like arc of it, and I hadn't seen anything. So I feel like Gundam's popularity, not many people are following it as much, and I think it's because I know in one series they changed it from like people actually like riding the machines and then being like weapons of mass destruction essentially, to being like toys and almost doing like a fucking Beyblade thing, and it looks really stupid. So I don't know. Like Gundam builders, like people building their Gundams and all that jazz, and it's like little kids walking around like, yo, these things used to blow up fucking planets. Like, we used to take over countries in this shit. Like, and now these are kid toys. Like, what the hell?
I just had a flash of the whole Boruto, like, your parents went through a war, your grandparents went through a war. What are y'all doing? Y'all are just hanging out.
Well, that's also an anime that will be continuing new episodes.
Like, kind of that same, like, used to be this big thing, and now it's, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The Witch from Mercury, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna lie though, it has the title sounds like a movie title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Byron, Andrea, what about you guys? Is there any anime that you think may be sleepers this fall season?
I don't know. I honestly don't pay attention to animes that I haven't really had advertised to me per se.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled up a general list for fall 2022, and there's two with the artwork that I have a personal pull towards that look like they could be romance animes that I feel like might be good options as sleepers, but I don't know what the stories are. One of them, literally, the art for it looks like it came straight out of a webtoon. So, like, I just really don't know.
But
I'm not good at making predictions like that, so I'm just really not going to say anything.
Byron, how about yourself?
As a person that's watched the least anime, I couldn't tell you what is about to pop off in the fall. Like, I'm looking at the list you sent us. I mean, to me, they all look like they have something that could potentially pop off. Like Beast Tamer. I think I've heard of that one before. So that'd
Mhm.
be a potential sleeper. I don't know what season they're on.
I see meeting a cat spirit girl. Yeah, that's gonna make a lot of money.
You sent him a list. Did you send him the Crunchyroll exclusive list, or did you send him the general anime list?
It should have been the general.
Looks
one.
like the general anime one because it says anime TV.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, it should have been.
the Twitter.
Because I think things like, I mean, these are known but not well known. Like Cedric, like we were talking about, like Gundam or like Berserk is coming out.
Well, but see,
Mhm.
that's the thing. Like, I can't call Berserk a sleeper because, like, Berserk has a really large following.
Yes, they
Right.
do. They do.
Like, it's I'll put this. It's on the gore level of Chainsaw Man, what people
Mhm.
are expecting Chainsaw Man to be on, but it's medieval, and so
Mhm.
like I can't call it a sleeper because people have high expectations of it.
That's fair.
Like
What about To Your Eternity season 2?
To Your Eternity season 2, but that's a 2023.
No, on this one it's saying on the site I'm on it's saying it's coming out October 23rd.
Yep.
I'll bet that would be good. But the season 1 was very popular.
Okay.
I've had several people recommend it to me, and I see it all over Twitter. But
Mhm.
I haven't watched the season 1. I actually added it to my watch list.
Gotcha. Well, then, Byron, we'll stay with you then, because you brought up Demon Slayer, which was supposed to come out in October 2022. Then it got pushed back. Like Cedric said, this stuff can get pushed back to
Mhm.
2023. Date still to be determined. In 2022 and 2023, what anime do you think's under the most pressure to like perform?
Probably Demon Slayer season 3 because season 2 was fantastic. The animation, the fights, just the moments of like pure like, are they actually going to win this? Like there was a lot of emotions in season 2, so I expect season 3 to amp that up because from what I've heard and what you guys have told me, like the demon that's the main demon in that one is pretty badass. So I'm expecting season 3 to just up the ante.
So I know we don't like mention them, but Anime Twitter has already gotten to the point where they say Demon Slayer isn't a good anime; it's just carried by the animation.
They're watching the same anime?
I'm just letting you know what that's going around the Twitterverse right now. It's carried by the animation. It's not a good story.
I've heard that for a while though, like even before the second season came out, like so I'm not very much on Twitter, as you guys know. I'm more on Instagram, the For You page, the Reels page. But before I even watched Demon Slayer, I mean, I came across a lot of like clips and memes and all that good stuff. But every now and again, I came across pages saying that Demon Slayer really wasn't that good. It was just the animation was that great. And then somebody that I guess follow on Twitch, kind of brought up a point that I'd never really considered before, not knocking the anime, but basically said that each of the characters all have like one like personality strength, and that's all
Yeah.
that they hammer on.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess that's true. And that kind of like deflated my, I don't want to say my love because that's not true, but like took a little bit of the wind out of my sails. Is like, oh wow, I guess that is kind of true, sort of. But I mean, I don't know. The way we get so attached to the characters so immediately, in such a short amount of time, I feel like does go to like the story writing. Maybe there's not a ton of character development per se, but it's not like Demon Slayer really has like a whole lot of Bakugos out there that need to bring it together and get it to the right place. But yeah, no, I've been hearing that for a while, that it is carried by the animation. And to an extent, I feel like I could agree that if the animation wasn't there, it might not be as popular. But I still think it'd be a popular anime. It would still be like, I don't know, endearing. But I agree, Byron, that I feel like season 3 of Demon Slayer has the most pressure. The one immediately after that for me would be Chainsaw Man. But since it's only the first season, if it doesn't live up to the hype, then they kind of cut their losses and don't make anymore. Versus Demon Slayer, they've already invested all of this money. The movie was insanely huge.
Cedric, how about you, man? What are you thinking? What animes need to like perform in these next couple, this season and the winter season?
For me, I think the highest expectation is going to be Bleach. As we like, and this is why I'll put it like this: when Dragon Ball Super came back out, it caught a lot of flack. I mean, I'm one of the people who was like, "Yo, this is not holding up to what I thought it would be," and I feel like at least I haven't heard announced any more episodes coming out. I feel like with Bleach in this 100-year wars, 100-year war, like you have to like for them, especially when you're picking up where where your manga left off, like you're trying to finish the manga. To do that, you need to keep making money off the anime because you're not necessarily selling any more copies of manga because it's done. Like no one's running to the store when you just release something to say like, okay, I gotta buy the new episode of Bleach, like to see and read what's happening. You know what's gonna happen. So I think they have a lot to answer for, and especially because at the time Bleach was coming back, it was supposed to be like a filler spot for the big three, right? Like because you had Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, and then they're on like a right small level below was Bleach at the time, and it like fell off for so long that I think a lot of people you're going to get a lot of fans who either love just like old school artistic anime and then stop as things started to get a little bit too graphic and too flashy, a lot of CGI stuff they just didn't enjoy coming back. And I think they're going to be tough critics. Like I think they're going to get a lot of tough critics on this new season and adaptation because again, it's a franchise that's completed and it's been successful before. Outside of them, I'm actually going to say Spy Family Part 2. I think with especially so close in time of following up with its season 1 that there's a lot of expectations. And it's an anime that's like been blowing up like wildfire, where some other animes that have done that have had time to like kind of exhaust with a movie, and that way you break up the constantly repeating and dishing out episodes week by week, and you can kind of buy some time, honestly, for your animators to create quality. So I'm really curious how they're going to do. I'm kind of nervous for them, honestly, because they know they're going to crash Crunchyroll. Like this season is going to crash Crunchyroll. If these animes, and I hope that they have strategically planned this, like not to have like 3 of them released the same weekend.
Right.
They're going to fucking crash Crunchyroll because now we don't have Funimation anymore. So like that's the reason I had both of them. I'm like, oh, Crunchyroll crash, huh? No one's watching Funimation. Like, so with Funimation purchasing Crunchyroll and then only releasing everything on Crunchyroll, like all the new seasons, I wouldn't be surprised if Crunchyroll crashed the first 3 weeks that this season starts. For 2023, I'm actually looking forward to Vinland Saga. I think it has a lot of pressure, like because it's season 2. It's been off for a little while too. Also, Bungo Stray Dogs has a 4th season coming out. but we'll see. I mean, honestly, it's going to be an interesting time these next 6 months of just anime to see what happens. I'm wondering when they're going to announce, especially with seeing Bleach being revived, if they're going to announce any other animes that may get revived. I know, like, during the summer, there was like a Hunter x Hunter manga started up again, and they started new panels. And I'm just wondering how long it's going to be till they start to try to adapt new episodes for anime. So we'll see.
So I agree in the fact that with the Spy Family thing, because also, I mean, because that's just how the world is. With Spy Family and My Hero Academia are going to be the two animes that start off the season because they both are coming out the same day on October 1st. So obviously people are going to compare like viewing numbers and all that stuff. But for like 2023, the two like that came immediately for me was Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Because again, it's just like such a hot season 1. How do you follow up on that? And just because this anime has been pushing back its ending for literally 10 million years, Attack on Titan, like they got to finish strong because this could have been over a long time ago.
They were really debating on trying to make it a movie. They're trying to. That's what I honestly think. That's what people were thinking of, and that's what they were thinking of. Like after Jujutsu Kaisen just blew up too, they're like, man, why didn't we think to do at least a set like this last season to be a movie and then give them like weekly episodes to finish it out?
Right.
Because that one's been going. And then just from like a movie standpoint of like 2 anime movies that I'm seeing that I'm expecting big stuff. Number 1 would be Sailor Moon. Like the Cosmos films that are supposed to start in summer 2000, not summer, but still it's Sailor Moon. You're one of the biggest animes, especially from a women leading perspective in history. So with the recent success that all these animes are getting, like not just anime box office numbers, but like big movie box office numbers, you got to deliver. And like Black Clover, because they haven't had a movie in like real theaters. So I feel like those things really got to deliver. But Cedric, you brought up Dragon Ball. So there's always these things about when's the anime coming back. You know, there are 2-3 arcs done way past where the movies came out. And apparently the new rumor is there'll be an announcement in 2023. Take that for face value. These rumors have been going on since 2019. And the top people who make these, who report on these things have been wrong. So that's a believe it when you see it thing, but they are living very, very good off of Dragon Ball superhero success. The only anime movie in history besides Mewtwo to open up domestically the number 1 movie in the United States in its opening week. So
I just want them to stick to making movies because they do movies.
The movies have been phenomenal.
I think they do movies better than they do series. At least once they finish Z. Like once they finish Z, the movies have at least to me, have been more enjoyable to watch than the show. But that's just me because I mean I hate to be the guy, but like I can see why people don't like the Demon Slayer story because we're going into what the 3rd season. What has the characters learned, or how have the characters changed besides power scaling from the 1st season? Like Tanjiro still, like Tanjiro still cries when he kills a demon. Almost, he feels sorry for them as he sees their humanity.
Yeah,
like
the only one I can think of is Inosuke, in that he's like becoming more civilized, I guess, but that's not even major either. So like it
can't even get his teammates' names right yet.
Well, Inosuke's issue is he's realized he's not the strongest.
That's true.
So he has to be, because he knows he's going to get his ass whooped. Like,
he's low-key getting smoked by both. It's not even low-key. His other teammates will kill him.
Zenitsu, his sleeping thing now talks. His sleeping mode talks. That's awesome. That's amazing. I know from manga and history, like it gets better. Like we haven't gotten, but I don't know if from manga you see any actual like character development though.
No.
Like,
yeah, you're right.
Like especially for a guy who lost his entire family.
And
Like it's
feel-
one of those things. Like, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like that's part of the point for Tanjiro, though, is that he still didn't necessarily like change his nature, even though he lost his entire family. I thought that moment was gonna come during the movie when I'm forgetting the dream demon's name, but the dream Enmu, I guess,
Yeah.
was changed the dream into the nightmare where his family was like, why weren't you here? Why was it us, not you, and all that good stuff. I thought that was going to be the moment that he was going to like, that he would internalize that. And I was very surprised when he came back with the don't you dare tarnish the memories of my family, all that good stuff. But I feel like part of it, for him specifically, the tragedy not changing like his kind nature is kind of the point. But I could be wrong.
I guess what I'm saying is that's the only reason. That's the storyline plot. Like that is his character.
Mm-hmm.
Like his character is the gentle giant. Like he's a guy who will overcome everything and with a smile on his face, which is a lovable. Like it's a typical lovable shonen like main. Like he's nothing. Unfortunately, I hate to say he's nothing special. Like you see it in My Hero, gentle giant. Like the only other type of thing you have is the idiot who's strong. Like those are your shonen main people,
right?
Most of the time. So, I guess for me, it's like honestly, I wish there were times when he would delve back into that tragedy a little bit, because while it's encouraging story, it's a compelling story. It's almost like, yeah, you've overcome your like the tragedy in your life, and you feel sorry for these demons who have dealt tragedy in their lives. But I guess in my mind, I'm like, when I'm waiting for the snap, because it always happens to these characters. Like it always happens with these characters. Like, and when it happens, I'm just gonna be like, well, we waited 3 seasons or however many seasons for this to happen. Here we go, and then the eventual like, oh, I regret myself snapping. Like, that's what's just gonna happen. And I don't know if it will be on Muzin. I probably won't be, because that's gonna be a wasted effort. Because I mean, even Gons wasn't even on fucking
like the main guy.
It's gonna be like the guy before the guy, as it usually is, and it is what it is. I mean, we'll see what happens. I would just like, I don't know. I would want to see more development internally, I guess, moving forward. But I know for them, they have a lot of characters they still have to introduce, so they're still working. They're still working on power scaling for the most part.
Yeah, so those are really good points, and it actually goes back to one of the My Hero Academia episodes me and Andrea did, and it was right after Takahashi, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh, passed, and how the character, like those type of characters, the Tanjiros, the Midoriyas, they're based off of Yu-Gi-Moto, and like you could see, like throughout the whole story's purpose was for Yugi to be braver, like his past reincarnate, and his past and attempt to be kind, like his current version. So you see the character growth in both of them until the final duel, where they're both equal in that. So I guess like, what is Midoriya? What is the final thing? Like to then be confident, like All Might, or like Tanjiro's thing to accept, like, hey, some of these demons just gotta go. Like,
I feel like they're based off Astro Boy.
Well, that's what I forgot who was saying it, but that's what someone, like one of the creators that's what one of the creators was saying on Twitter. Like, but it might have been a more like honoring Takahashi, but that's what they were saying.
It's just one of those things, like you see it. It is, for lack of an attractive main character, like, because it sucks you in. Like, this is the person it's easy for you to get behind, easy for you to root for.
True.
I mean, because the opposite is like Naruto and Luffy, and Asta, honestly, right now, because they're very similar characters. They shock your conscience and draw your attention in, and half the time you're just like, this fucking idiot, here we go. Like, and then you have the Ichigos who are just like, I'm an asshole, and so here we go. Like,
Kurosaki Ichigo. Andrew, I'm surprised you didn't bring up your favorite anime, Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, is that coming back in another season?
It
That is
is.
Oh,
Winter
absolutely.
2023.
It's
Winter
very
2023.
popular, bro. Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
2023.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I mean,
the intro is
I
hard.
want to see it. I want to know how the freaking story ends. Like as much
I
as
just want to know how his power works.
Oh,
Same.
that's what we all
oh my god,
wanna
that
know.
yes. I don't
I'm
think.
telling
Okay, you most
I'm
of
waiting
all,
for
Martin.
one dude. I'm waiting for the one dude to be like, "Ha! I found you here too." And I'm like, "Yes, finally, he's not the only one."
That
Right.
was
The guy with the
the evil
glasses?
dude. He's
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is the guy
Yeah.
who's fucking up his life. This person right here.
Oh, he is such a snake.
I'm hoping it's the little brother. Honestly.
What?
Ooh.
I'm hoping it's the little brother. It was like, listen, man, like I had to kill
Interesting.
my sister because like I saw the future when y'all got together and it was fucked up. I ain't like that. I ain't with that. Because I made the ultimate sacrifice. I killed my own
Own
sister.
sister, so you couldn't be with her. That'd be oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Well, someone has the powers because when he was in the bathroom washing his hands in the past, and they were like, "You were supposed to be in the car," and they were like, "Hmm."
Hmm?
And then his girl shit got slammed through that. I was like, "Oh." But Andrew, you're
That's
about
true.
to
There
say
has to
something.
be another time traveler.
Probably. There does. It's just who is it?
Yeah.
And are they trying to help or are they trying to like hinder? Because if they are trying to help and they've been fucking it up, that I mean that would have had a weird dynamic to the story.
That sister gets smoked like every 4 episodes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you can't beat fate, bro. You can't.
That's true.
I see.
Can't fight fate. What is that from? What is that from? Can't fight fate.
There's a
Drive
lot,
me nuts.
I'll say a lot of stuff has said that. Oh, speaking of fate, Ufotable.
Mhm.
Byron, I know y'all watched it when y'all was up here. Have y'all started watching Fate Stay or
Oh,
Fate
no,
Zero?
yeah, I got
No,
you.
I need
that was
to.
hard. That
I
was
need
hard.
to. Yeah, because those fights were amazing.
Bad thing is, I'll probably watch it the next, like when I'm in Cleveland next. I'm like, oh, Cedric, put that on before we get something to eat. But
Yeah, that was hard.
that was really really good. But oh man, Tokyo Revengers, that's gonna be very interesting. Yeah,
What award did they win? Was it like best
Oh,
anime or something
they
like
did
that?
I think it
win.
was best new or was it most popular manga series or something?
They did win an award, and everyone's like, "How did they?" I was like, "The show. I mean, the show's actually pretty good. The music's actually great. It's just like Cedric said, how does he have this power, and who else has it? Because
I just want to know where their parents be at, man.
That
Oh,
too. Legitimately, where
Like,
are
if you
their
ever notice-
parents?
I say, if you ever really notice like anime, like high schoolers, middle schoolers, they be just doing whatever the fuck they want. They be living alone and shit. I'm like, where the fuck
Facts.
are their parents? Like, these are middle schoolers on fucking mopeds and motorcycles out here stabbing
bike gang.
each other and fighting each other all the damn time. You mean to tell me? And first of all, you mean to tell me like not any of them got like? I know the people who get popped by the cops. You make it, man. They make it sound like this kid's life is over. It was like he got arrested. He's in jail. It's like, well, yeah, that's what happens when you stab 6 motherfuckers. Like,
well, the only parents I remember seeing in that thing were the parents of the girl who got beat up and raped, and she was in the hospital.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then who
That
did
was
they?
the lower your head moment.
Yeah.
Like, not the Akas, not Cedric, not Akas.
I know who you meant, bro. I watched Tokyo Revengers. I know what you meant.
I know, but anytime I say lower, I heard like I could hear
Hey,
her
that's my
upstairs. 'Cause
guy.
she's like, "Oh, even I know who that is. That's the basketball guy." I was like, "Yes, Courtney, that is his signature line." Yes, but yeah, that was the only parents I remember in that whole series.
Yeah. Because I mean, even I'm forgetting her name, but the main girl and her younger brother, it's just the two of them. Even when he goes to visit them in
Hinata?
the past. Yeah, that's what it
Mhm.
is. Yeah, it's just the two of
You
them.
see, I thought you see her. I thought her mom was there the one time. Either
Was
her mom
she?
or her dad, because I feel like someone else answered the door the one time when he's like knocks
Oh,
on it.
that's right. That is right. Yeah.
Because it wasn't the little brother. I know one time it was the little brother because he's like crying. He's like, "You're here." He's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Right. Yeah. He was like, "The fuck is your problem?" Yeah. 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 I don't remember if it was her mom or her dad. I feel like it was her mom.
Man, then you take a kick from Mikey and you're knocked out.
With sandals, open toe ass sandals. I don't know how he doesn't break his toes. Like
He's strong.
He got some strong legs.
The crazy
No,
thing
you
is, this
gotta-
man
you need
only
to-
be kicking.
I know.
he really does. Hands in the pockets most of the time too. Just like boom.
Mhm.
Man, that guy's like, I gotta stop him from killing this person because then this war's and I was like, bro, I don't know. Dude killed his brother. You might have to let that one go.
Right.
Right.
I understand you're trying to save the future, but it's not like you saving the world. You just saving your little space. So you might have to.
Right. You're just saving his girl.
I was gonna say it's just
That's
his girl. It's not even like the whole. Because I'm sure the gang in the future has made hurt a whole lot of other people too, but his main motivation is, her, which is fine.
But we'll see. I just remember Byron watching that and he was like, what is happening?
What is
Straight middle
happening? Yeah.
schoolers.
Yeah.
Straight
Like
but-
these middle
schoolers out
schoolers in
there.
a bike gang. Excuse me.
Matching uniforms.
And then I got hooked. I was like,
Slicked
dang,
up
he's actually
hair.
good.
Like true tough guy, true delinquents.
One with
All
the,
like Kuwabara hair.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my god, yes.
Andrew, I will also say, like, pressure-wise, I mean, your anime, My Hero Academia, out of, like, the new school people, they're already on season 6.
Right.
Like, they're on
I
season
have high
6.
expectations.
Yeah, they're on season 6. They've already had 3 movies, which
Mhm.
for, like, a new anime, that's
a
a
lot.
lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It just flat out is. It's a lot.
And everyone's expecting this season to be, like, Cedric said, expectations, because they're going right into the war. There's no sugarcoating. It's like, first episode, we're in there, so...
Because
Mhm.
I finally watched World Heroes Mission, and I ain't gonna lie, I had really high expectations. I was like, okay, this is.
I was not a big fan. Like,
I was like, this is alright.
exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
I really
I like
liked
the-
it because
I like
there
the
was
one
nuclear
random
bombs.
I was like, I like
Roddy?
the random
Roddy?
dude more.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I liked
Yeah.
him more than I did anyone else. I was like, okay.
I liked his little birdie thing.
Yeah. It was adorable.
When that thing got hit, I was like, damn, this is really it.
I thought he
Tragic.
died. I ain't gonna cap.
I
was
did
like,
too.
he's
No,
dead.
me too. Everybody did.
I'm
but,
not gonna
like,
lie. I was gonna like, wow, we're gonna introduce this one dude and he's gonna die. That's kind of fucked up, but okay, whatever.
hashtag
I guess
Mugen
it's-
Train. Like-
It was literally the anime movie right after Mugen Train at the
Right.
time because it went from
Right.
that and then the other big after the
Jujutsu
third My Hero
Kaisen.
movie was Jujutsu Kaisen and then recent one was Dragon Ball Superheroes. So no, I
Yeah.
mean they're making money over there in the My Hero world. It's just
Oh, for sure.
They're just
Yeah.
season 6 already. I just think that's crazy. They're on season 6. I don't know what season like Boruto is on right now.
What's that anime?
Well, you talked about things. You talked about things coming back and disappointing. I mean, when Shippuden ended, they should have just
And
let
Let
then
it
that
go.
be.
Yep.
Well, or if you're listen, I heard Boruto was supposed to get sweet at some point in time, and I was
Right.
like, oh, sweet, like this dude, like yeah, like it gets sweet, cool. They should just jump to the sweet shit and work their way back.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
like just pick up where we left off because I already done suffered through regular Naruto watching these fucks fool around all the time. Like, damn it, is Kakashi coming to save him or nah? Or is this the it? Is this the end? And then Shippuden came and was like, oh, everybody got sweet. Okay, I see how this is.
I saw like a crazy, yeah, because most of the Boruto anime is filler.
Yeah.
Like current that's
Yeah.
Really?
like
Yeah.
most like
Wow.
3-4. I saw
The
like a
reason-
crazy stat like 70%.
Because when it first came out, no one knew what was canon and what was filler.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just kept pumping out episodes. And so as they started to get to an actual plot, a story, the first like 60 episodes don't matter. Like you could pick up after the fucking Otsutsuki's come and
Oh,
you
yep.
could you'd be fine.
Yeah, they copied the Dragon Ball Super thing because when Dragon Ball Super came out, for people who don't know, the first 2 arcs in Dragon Ball Super were the movies, Battle of God, when you first see Beerus and Whis, and then Resurrection F. Those movies for Super are literally the first 2 arcs. You don't even have to watch those. You can skip those and go right into the thing. And just like Cedric said, that's what Boruto did. Because, I mean, they had the movie and it was like, oh, well, I already saw the movie. What the hell do I need to watch
Yep.
any of this for?
I'll put it like this: the fight scene from I'll give them one credit. The fight scene in the show is better than the fight scene in
Yes.
the movie.
True.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate them doing that. The movie when it first came out, Boruto was that was a good film
Mhm.
That was all right.
because you didn't have any context.
That's true.
Like all you literally was like, oh well, whose kid is who, and then you're like, oh, this is what it is. Oh, cool, this is kind of cool.
It was like
But
an
now that-
epilogue movie.
Exactly. It's like, hey, this is where we're in, and that's it. Like you don't need to know what happens next. I
Mhm.
would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now Byron's like, ooh, I don't know. He's like, I was like, yeah, bro, 7. It's
Like,
a
I need them
lot.
to bring out Hitori no Shita now because I've seen that video. One of my coworkers was like, "Oh, I saw a video on YouTube, Hitori no Shita." He's like, "It looked really good." I was like, "Martial arts. This dude's fighting in a park." I was like, "Oh, my dog, I had to be the one to tell you this." He's like, "Well," I was like, "That shit ain't getting released in America." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, you can go online and try to find that shit illegally, but that shit ain't getting released in America. That shit looks fire too, doesn't it?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "The first 2 seasons are dope. That shit ain't getting released in America."
I feel like I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I'm certain you have. Like, I'm telling you, the minute you go on YouTube and you type in Hitori no Shita, you'll see the one where this dude's getting chased by 3 people in the park and he gives them all hands.
Yes,
That's
I've seen that.
The problem is that shit's not out. The first 2 seasons are out and they're good. Don't get me wrong. It's a good anime. Like, Byron, you probably would enjoy it. But when you see that third one, you're like, damn, when are we going to get to that? And it's like, well, never. So, at least not in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Licensing shit is real.
Yeah, the contracts, licensing, it's
Disney
yeah.
Plus out here is getting in the game. They know what's up
Yes.
because they're
So-
getting bleached.
Yeah,
Right.
which one of the last things before we do the last thing, because on Crunchyroll's like lineup, they have everything announced but like one spot, and this is on their official website because they have been blasting my email like no man's business. And I'm like, look, man, I'm a fan. Don't worry. I will be watching and keeping my yearly subscription. But there's one anime spot that's to be determined. Any guesses on what that could be for their last spot?
I don't know.
Where-
I know.
Like, when is it supposed to be released? This
Oh,
last
because
spot?
it's
So-
literally on the October thing, like new season
Yeah.
pickups, Chainsaw Spy,
Mm.
Mob Psycho, My Hero, Blue Lock, Pop Team
So-
Epic Season, which I might have to watch. That sounds entertaining. And then
There was a if you've never seen Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon?
Dungeon.
Season
Mhm.
4
Yes.
came out.
Mhm.
And Crunchyroll has seasons 1 through 3. But High Dive, which split off of VRV, picked up season 4. And so they've been releasing on their website, their streaming service.
Mhm.
And I remember there was a time when like Crunchyroll advertised like, oh, we're gonna get season 4. I don't know if it's gonna be like a delayed release for them because normally what's happening is when you win the streaming rights to it, you keep that shit as long as you can.
Correct.
And then you make Crunchyroll buy you out once you're like not getting as much or when you have too much space.
Mhm.
And so I honestly have no idea what it could be.
It's something because they're keeping that under wraps, or they would have just said it.
Mhm.
I know. It's just like, what do we think it is? But we'll see. Last thing, because Cedric brought this up really early. Which anime is going to crash their site first?
Oh.
I'm going Bleach.
Think Bleach.
Yeah, I think the first episode's gonna, because these people, whoever runs this stuff, and it's the same people who run the movie ticket stuff, especially for like the big superhero movies, they always underestimate the fandom, and then their stuff crashes. They're like, oh, we didn't expect this type of volume. I was like, how do you not expect that when you've been sending us emails and alerts and commercials saying that this stuff's coming out, tickets on sale next week, and their stuff crashes and the anime sites will crash? Like, because I had to pick like specific times to watch Demon Slayer because I wasn't
Yeah.
trying to have my stuff crash. But yeah, so last one, what do you think's
I
gonna
think-
crash first?
I think it's gonna crash October 1st. Got My Hero and Spy Family coming out the same day.
Okay. Andrea.
I would go with the same bet. It's a safe bet, especially since there's two of them. But I don't know. Bleach maybe because Bleach is going to be on. Is it Disney Plus or where is it going to be?
Wherever that. I think Disney Plus, right, Cedric? Somewhere.
Yeah, Disney
Yeah.
Plus got the streaming rights, so it's gonna come off Disney
Right.
Plus.
Those bastards.
Yeah, I feel like they
Smart.
probably
They're
don't.
smart.
They
Yeah,
are
come
Oh
on.
smart.
yeah, Mark, you
but
ain't watching it. Sorry.
Oh, well, shout out to the producer, Aki. We'll find ways. We'll just have to.
Bro, this isn't listen. This ain't Crunchyroll. This is Disney. You know they got the locks.
Oh, it's okay. As Byron knows, I'm able to watch all the Marvel stuff I have to with no
He
Disney
does.
Plus.
He does.
Interesting.
You gotta
Alright.
trust your sort. You gotta trust the people out there. You can't give them up, or then their
I know
YouTube
for a
gets shut
fact
down.
you out
Right.
here with viruses on viruses. Like,
Nah, I got Webroot. Shout out to Webroot. You know, great service from Best Buy. Shout out
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Best
the
Buy.
You were
He's-
obsessed with Best Buy. Oh my
Oh,
lord.
we're
he has a
Retirements-
credit card. Listen, he's getting sponsored. Literally, he has a fucking Geek
if we were
Squad
getting
T-shirt
sponsored by
on
Best,
underneath
man, if we-
that shirt.
I wish. I'm still trying to get a part-time job there. They won't call me back.
You're overqualified, dude.
Listen, if GameStop wasn't calling you back, they sure as hell ain't calling you back.
GameStop, they were shitty. Like that pissed me off so much. I was like, bro, we're about to go on strike. I need a nice part-time job. So,
Martin, you
that's-
really would be up in like you would love GameStop because you wouldn't have to talk to nobody
oh yeah,
unless they needed you.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting there, you'd be like out on the phone looking at the other guys like, so you gonna help them or not? Like,
I don't even know if I'd be in the front. I'd be in the back organizing the controllers and the used stuff. Just saying. Best Buy, all my main job at Best Buy, I'll help you put that fridge. That's it.
That's it.
You buying a fridge and TV, I will roll that thing to your car, lift it up for you, put it in,
Martin.
and continue my day.
Martin, bruh. Yeah, right. Your ass. We gonna see your ass on a laptop section trying to sell people fucking Chromebooks.
No, I don't like Chromebooks, so I wouldn't sell.
That's why you were trying to
Who
be
likes
selling. Like, man, we need to get this. We
I
need
don't
to get
even like
this merchandise
Chromebooks.
out. We need to get out the stock. We got a whole nother pallet in the back.
I'm not Jordan Belfort. I can't sell you a pen. I can't sell you no damn Chromebook. They suck.
They do. They really do.
Yeah.
Now, an
no.
iPad or HP computer, we can talk. But
I mean, you sold me an HP computer, basically.
Look, I found this online on Best Buy's website here.
I true that. I mean, it is what it is. But Andrew, I don't think the My Hero one will. I think they'll crash it when you have the eventual confrontation between Midori and Shigaraki. Their next
Fair.
fight.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, it'll crash, bro. He'll be fine.
We'll see. I mean, I don't remember.
Funimation got power, bro. Sony ain't letting that shit crash like that.
We'll see.
The last time it crashed was when Attack on Titan came out.
Yeah.
When that episode dropped, I literally was like, to Funimation we go. Ugh.
Goku and Jiren when they had their first fight, it all crashed. That was bad.
Yeah.
Funimation we go. I was watching a video to like, you ain't a real supervillain if you ain't get Jade to lose. Like if you ain't get jumped to lose. I was like, that's actually a really good point. Nobody truly be soloing out here. It's one of the funniest fucking shits when you think about it.
Oh, like the main bad guy at the end.
Yeah, always has to get jumped. Like that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious because every time we're like, oh, the power of friendship. It's like, yeah, I don't know, really, the power of friendship, man. You jump somebody, anything is possible. Like, imagine if like kids in the fucking back in the day when people were getting jumped and like it's like someone just yelled the power of friendship as they're stomping somebody out. Like, that'd be so fucked up. Like,
Jesus.
I bet somebody's tried it.
For sure.
it was like, no, not like no, fuck this guy. Now the power of friendship. You catching this? Like,
Yep.
That's funny. Anything else, guys? No. All right. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. One of the biggest anime season back-to-back, fall 2022 and winter 2023. It's going to be a fantastic time. And like we already said, October 1st, starting it up. Spy Family Season 2. My Hero Academia season 6. So that is crazy to say out loud. Still season 6. And with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Let us know what anime you are looking forward to in the comments if you're listening to it on YouTube, and comment below. Thank you and take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.